Before we start the video, I just want to say thank you for all the support and comments from the last video. We just passed 300 subscribers. Also, I just want to let you know that I stream every day on twitch.tv/trotthatfox at 7 p.m. CST. We are so close to hitting 400 followers, and my New Year's resolution is to hit 500. So if you want to help build a community, meet new people, or just hang out and chill, please stop by. We have a lot of fun, and we enjoy welcoming new people to the community. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Dark Souls 2 was released on March 11, 2014, as the sequel to one of the best games of all time. It was the first and only Souls game not developed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, and was instead passed to Tomohiro Shibuya and Yui Tanimura. Miyazaki led the development team for the previous two games, Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and even went on to oversee Bloodborne and Elden Ring. With new game directors, Shibuya and Tanimura changed things up and tried to improve upon the original game. Dark Souls 2 introduces many new aspects to the series, including new weapons, playstyles, hexes, better graphics, and a more in-depth world. Unfortunately, like most sequels, Dark Souls 2 was plagued with a troubled development period and a rocky initial release. From what I could find online, right when the game was almost finished, Shibuya left the company after creative differences, and Tanimura was tasked with finishing what was left of the game and correcting what Shibuya already implemented. This is why Dark Souls 2 feels so different compared to the original game, and why a lot of people hated it when it was first released. It even sits at the bottom of the list when comparing best Soulsborne games. But why does Dark Souls 2 rank so low to begin with? Today, we will try to answer this question, along with discuss why Dark Souls 2 is completely misunderstood and underrated. When we think of great Souls games, we think of Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 3. These three games usually rank at the top of the list, shortly followed by the original Dark Souls. While not considered the absolute best in the series, Dark Souls is highly regarded as a community favorite and one of the best games of all time. Dark Souls was the game that started the franchise after all, with the exclusion of Demon Souls, and caused the rise of a bunch of copycat games with fabricated difficulty. But with Dark Souls 2, people like to bash it and talk down on it since it ranks as the worst Souls game. Some people even completely skip it when doing a full Souls playthrough. I don't think this is fair, and I think this is part of the problem. People see that Dark Souls 2 is the worst Souls game and automatically assume that it's a bad game. They look at online rankings or watch YouTube videos talking about the best Souls game and see Dark Souls 2 dead last and think because of its ranking, the game must suck. This isn't fair to the game. While I agree that Dark Souls 2 definitely had its flaws, such as the lack of world interconnection, slower combat, and mediocre bosses, it's still a great game and improves upon the original. Dark Souls 2's story is great. Its combat, while slower, feels deliberate, and the world levels are very interesting, except for the Shrine of Amata. And personally, I actually enjoyed how the world wasn't interconnected. When the game was released, people disliked how you could use bonfires to fast travel, how the game looked terrible, and how the game just felt slow and boring. But these are changes that I actually didn't mind. I can't be the only one that loves fast traveling from bonfires, as it's practically a staple in the series now. I also liked how the game took its time with its story and world development. The graphics were subpar when it was released, but it wasn't the biggest deal. Dark Souls 2 tried to be different, which we should appreciate. The writing in Dark Souls 2 is where I think the game really shines. It takes the whole story of the first game and flips it on its back. The path you choose, whether to take the throne or to walk away, doesn't really matter. In the first game, linking the flame was regarded as the good ending, while walking away was the bad. Dark Souls 2 questions this idea, however. Linking the flame results in nothing good or new coming out of it, as you're just resetting the cycle and fulfilling an old prophecy. However, leaving the throne doesn't just mean you chose darkness, but instead means that you chose to find another way to break the curse. In the DLC, you eventually do find a way to break the curse, but only for yourself, resulting in either path you chose as meaningless. I thought this was great writing because it makes us question everything we learned in the first game. This is where I feel Dark Souls 2 is completely underrated in comparison to the other games. From talking to all the NPCs, to meeting Aldia, to finally making your decision, the writing shines through the flaws of the game. The writing and story makes this game very replayable, much like other great RPG games. Out of all the other Souls games, I always find myself coming back to replay Dark Souls 2. I understand that you might feel way different, but a playthrough of Dark Souls 2 is very enjoyable, and I always have a blast. I think the game accomplished exactly what it needed to. It's a sequel to an already great game. While Dark Souls 2 might not be on the same level as Halo 2, we should show more love towards it. The game's differences shouldn't be its negatives, and we should appreciate it for what it is. So next time you decide to play through all the games, or if your friends are looking to get into the series, try to remember that Dark Souls 2 is nowhere as bad as people think it is. And don't be too harsh on the game for trying to be different. In short, Dark Souls 2 is misunderstood and underrated because it had a rough initial release and tried to implement things that were different than the original. Dark Souls 2 tried to stand out, and people initially did not like that. People didn't like how the game played slower, and how the game introduced life gems. But the criticism that Dark Souls 2 receives is a bit uncalled for, as it makes up for it in its writing, storytelling, and world design. I hope this starts a discussion in the comments, as I look forward to seeing what you have to say and hearing your opinions on the game. This video should serve as a discussion, so I apologize if I accidentally left anything out. Please feel free to comment, I'll try to answer as many of you as possible, and don't forget to like and subscribe.